I've got huge news for you. Grayscale has filed for a Solana Spot ETF, and I think they're going to file for a XRP ETF very soon. And Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says they're not going to work with any law firm that hires any SEC official that attacked the industry. And there's a big update around who will replace Gary Gensler as SEC chair. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, the bull market continues with altcoins right now taking the lead. We're having a mini alt season and we're seeing liquidity rotating throughout the altcoin market. So of course, XRP and some other altcoins have been ripping lately, but with the liquidity rotation, we're seeing altcoins like Tron pumping. So I don't hold any Tron tokens, but if you do, congratulations. It's currently at number 10 at 38 cents, up 71% over the past 24 hours and up near 96% over the past 7 days. So you're seeing that rotational liquidity, which is very healthy. That's very good. And we want to see this throughout the altcoin market because a rising tide lifts all boats. And this is where market makers and whales are doing their thing. And we've seen this historically. So it's a good sign. It means this bull market's heating up and many altcoins are starting to wake up and catch up to Bitcoin, so to speak. And eventually, many of these altcoins will become overbought. And guess what? The liquidity will rotate back to Bitcoin. And then we're going to see Bitcoin make its move, I think, definitely breaking $100,000 this month and possibly heading to the next target, which is about 120,000. So that will be really good. And I'm still waiting to see Ethereum wake up. It has not really done much. It's slowly creeping up. But I think once the liquidity hits it, it's going to move. And I think it could get to about $10,000, $11,000 this cycle. We'll have to wait and see. That's not a guarantee. But guys, very good sign here. And here are some charts that blockchain backer, who's a great analyst, shared. So he highlighted that Tron is breaking out. He said the breakout by Tron offers a serious glimmer of optimism to the rest of the market. It was one of the majority of coins unable to set a new all-time high in 2021. But capable of surpassing 2021 and 2018 with this move. If that doesn't get you excited, it should. So once again, coins which may not have the biggest use cases and so forth are getting liquidity and they're starting to wake up. So the rising tide lifts all boats. Very good sign. He also shared a chart showing the altcoin market caps. So of course, excluding Bitcoin. And he said, it's pretty amazing to watch the altcoin market cap respective Fibonacci levels the entire way up. Excuse the API wicks as it's pulling from CoinMarketCap. But next on deck, all-time high. So we're knocking at the door to break through and then enter into price discovery overall. Now, obviously, this is an index. So we're not talking about a specific coin, but the liquidity driving up a bunch of different coins and their market caps increasing drives the index up. So this is a very good measuring stick as to where we're at and where we need to go. So we still have room to the upside. This parabolic phase is still in the early innings, but it is the last phase, what some would call the fifth wave based on Elliott wave models. So this is why you need to pay attention to the charts now. Now is not the time to ignore what's happening. You have to keep your eyes on it and you have to have a profit-taking plan. So we are also seeing that altcoins are dominating in social mentions. So our partner Sentiment, and if you want to learn about them, check out the link in the description. They have a report that shows the sentiment of trending coins. It talks about positive, neutral, negative, and XRP is still leading in social mentions, followed by RSR, which is reserve. I actually don't know about that coin, but coming in third is HBAR. That's Hedera. I hold that coin. And of course, you have Tron here in the top 5. So the coins that are really moving, you're seeing a lot of social mentions around them. So guys, a very good sign. Here's another great sign. The DXY, the dollar currency index, is breaking down. Something that was worrying me, guys, was that this thing was pumping with Bitcoin after the election. Now, at the time I said this is an outlier, an anomaly, because you usually don't have risk assets and the DXY pumping at the same time. But I think the anomaly or the outlier here is coming to an end. We're seeing the breakdown of the DXY. Very good sign, very bullish for risk assets. Here's something else that's bullish for risk assets. Today we got news, and it was kind of short-lived, that South Korea had declared martial law. But here's the interesting thing. From their report, they stated Korea pledges unlimited liquidity to support markets. Guys, what have we talked about on this podcast? And I love to give you the holistic view. And that is, we live in a fiat debt-based system where they have to keep printing money and debasing the currencies. And what does that mean? It means global liquidity from all the central banks will continue to rise, and asset prices will continue to rise as well. Because when you debase the denominator, and let's use US dollar as an example, the asset value and prices inflate. So this is why it's important that you invest in assets, whether it's crypto, stocks, real estate, and more. Because if you just leave your money under the mattress, it's going to lose its purchasing power. This is economics. This is how the economy works. So you have to educate yourself about this, become financially educated, and take a position in assets. But as Paul Tudor Jones said, Bitcoin and crypto is the fastest horse in the race. He was saying, look, you can invest in gold, you can invest in real estate and stocks, but nothing moves like crypto. And this is why this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, because these assets are hard cap. It's still a relatively nascent industry, and Wall Street and the TradFi folks are now coming in. They now launched their ETFs this year, right? We front ran them for the first time in history. We front ran them, guys. So this is an incredible opportunity. So if you are here, you've been buying the bloody bear market, buying the bottoms, and you're looking to sell the blow off top, you're on the side of smart money. You should really be proud of yourself, because not a lot of people can recognize that. Once again, it's financial education. And even if they're introduced to it, we often see people would rather be lazy and go watch Netflix or, watch a basketball game or a sports game, right? Versus saying, hey, I'm going to take the time to learn what is happening here because I want to make a better life for myself. Now, if you're already a multimillionaire, then, it's different. But I'm like many folks, I'm an average Joe, so to speak. I don't come from a rich family. I grew up poor, but I've learned the markets. I've learned how to make money from the stock market and, of course, crypto. And that has changed my life. So I'm trying to share that knowledge with you guys. So I'm glad to be on this journey with you. And if you look at the M2 money supply here, guys, it is on the way up. This data is from the Fed. So you look at the 1 year chart, the M2 money supply is on the rise. So we saw China did massive stimulus injection a few months back. So all of these things driving global liquidity, which is going to drive asset prices higher. Now, we got big news today that the New York Stock Exchange Arca files to list and trade Grayscale Spot Solana ETF. So they filed for a 19B-4 form on Tuesday for the Grayscale Solana Trust. They join a few other firms who have been vying for a spot Solana ETF over the past year, including 21 Shares, VanEck, Bitwise, and Canary Capital. So, guys, I think an XRP spot ETF filing will come from Grayscale. Why do I believe that? Well, what happened in September? Grayscale relaunched their XRP trust. And we saw Bitwise, Canary, 21 Shares, and so forth. They filed for an XRP ETF. So do you think Grayscale wants to get left behind? Especially since they have a trust, especially since they add XRP into their index ETF as well? Of course not. They're going to want to have this product to collect the fees and so forth, especially as XRP has been performing so well. It's back in the top 3. So it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So maybe we see that this month, guys. And the fact that they're doing this for Solana is pretty incredible. And obviously there's a bunch of other filers for Solana as well. And there's one for HBAR. Now, check this news out as we talk about XRP. Austin Reed, who's the global head of revenue and business at crypto prime brokerage firm FalconX, tweeted out today, XRP trading is on fire. We've seen 10x growth in volume at FalconX between the first and second halves of Q4. This isn't just retail action. Institutions are driving the momentum. Wow. A bunch of haters, a bunch of Fraudsters are crying right now. They can't believe it. They're in disbelief. But the market doesn't care about your feelings and emotions, haters. The market often does the contrarian move against the herd, right? If the majority of people were saying XRP is dead, it's garbage, it's scam, and so forth, that's just perfect for the market. We've seen it time and time again in many different cases. So, guys, this is coming straight from the horse's mouth. This is not some random dude on X or some social media platform who's hiding behind a pseudonymous profile. This is an actual representative of a crypto prime broker firm, and they are seeing incredible trading volumes. So very, very bullish news here. Guys, a great place you can get XRP and Solana is on Uphold. This is an exchange I've been using since 2018. They have 300 plus cryptocurrencies. They have gold. They have many fiat currencies, and you can instantly trade between all these different assets. It's pretty incredible. And Uphold is easy to use. They're reliable. Folks, they don't commingle or lend out your funds. They are 100% reserve. You can review their transparency reports. And they have a great feature called USD interest accounts where you can park your crypto profits or dry powder and earn 4.65% APY. There's no lockup, so you can pull your money in and out. There are no monthly fees, and it's FDIC insured, just like a bank. So if you'd like to learn more about Uphold, check out the link in the description. Now, guys, big update here from Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, and I love this. This is great, 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 great. Brian essentially tweeted out that Coinbase is not going to work with any law firm that hires any of the scumbag SEC officials who were attacking the crypto industry. He highlighted specifically Gurbir Grewal, who is the SEC enforcement director that just left to go work at Milbank. Now, he said, look, they don't work with Milbank, but he said they messed up by hiring this guy. And of course, we saw some other people recently said that if anyone hires Gary Gensler, they're going to be blacklisted. They're going to be out of the crypto market. Like nobody's going to work with you. And these guys should not be rewarded. They attacked the industry in bad faith, not trying to work with it. And we know it was a political agenda. So these scumbags, including Gary Gensler, the biggest scumbag of all, should not get any jobs here. And I think Brian is right here. He says Milbank, they messed up by hiring this guy. And he said, we don't work with them and we never will as long as he works there. So I love this coming out from the largest exchange. And I hope more companies do this. They don't hire these people who operated with Gensler. There are former SEC officials who have worked well with the crypto industry. They weren't attacking it or anything like that. But Gensler and his cronies there, they should not get a golden parachute, jumping into the crypto industry and getting money and so forth. F these guys. And I will tell that to their face. These guys lied to the courts. Talk about, the countless hypocrisy and much more. And here we got news that Jorge Tenero, he was the lead attorney in the SEC versus Ripple case. And if you recall, he did a bunch of lying and got called out for his hypocrisy in that case. He tried to block John Deaton from entering in. And John Deaton did a full X post. I can't read the whole thing, but he pretty much highlighted how Tenero is such a clown. Apparently, Tenero got promoted as chief litigation counsel. So I tweeted out at Donald Trump, like, please send this clown packing when you get in office. He's as bad as Gary Gensler. So, but these guys they have no morals. As soon as they leave the SEC, many of them will flip and say, oh yeah, I love crypto and I want to come work for crypto. No, that's not how it works. You tried to take us down. You tried to lie and do all kinds of shady under the desk activity when you're supposed to be the good guys, when you're supposed to be protecting investors and abiding by the law, not breaking it. So, F these guys pretty much. And this guy, Jorge and Gary Gensler. Now, there's a lot of news circulating about who Gary Gensler's replacement will be. And a lot of news is coming out, and it's a bit of the rumor mill. It is not confirmed, but Paul Atkins could be the next SEC chair. This is according to Laura Shin at Unchained. And although CoinDesk is saying that Atkins is reluctant to take the job. So we'll see what happens. But he is pro-crypto. He understands the technology, and he's been critical of the SEC in many different interviews. So he would be a good choice, but it's only if he wants it. So we'll have to wait and see who gets appointed. But Eleanor Terrett of Fox Business is reporting that we could hear this week who Donald Trump's replacement candidate will be, or who he has selected essentially. Now, guys, nature is healing. Alex Mashinsky will be sentenced come Tuesday, April 8th, 2025, with a max sentence of 30 years. He could get up to 30 years, but I don't think he will. He pleaded guilty, so the sentencing will probably maybe be around 8 to 10 years. Sam Beckman-Fried, I think, got 10 years, and I mean, he did epic fraud, larger than Mashinsky did at Celsius. But Mashinsky needs to go to jail. He was actually on my show multiple times over the years, lying to my face, saying everything's okay and you could put your money on and so forth. And they knew things were not going well. And when they knew things were going to collapse, him and the partners and so forth took their money out. So you got screwed, they got their money out, but this guy needs to go to jail because he was pretty much running a Ponzi scheme. And this is another failure in Gary Gensler, who didn't do his job to investigate these guys, but was essentially attacking good actors and leaving the bad actors. I think, part of his strategy, just to see things collapse, we know this guy is doing something bad, and this is just my opinion. Let's just leave them, because we know they're going to collapse and burn, and that's going to be bad PR. It's going to hurt a lot of crypto investors. But let's go after the good guys and tie them up in litigation. I think that was part of his strategy, honestly. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. I don't put anything past Gary Gensler because he's a scumbag regulator. But Mashinsky being sent to jail would be great. Hey, that's where he deserves to be. All right, guys, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Guys, a great way you can support me and the podcast is by signing up for my free newsletter. It's 100% free. It's available on Substack. Link will be in the description. Also, grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto. It's available on Amazon in paperback and digital. Grab a copy for yourself, a few copies for your friends and family who want to learn about crypto. It'll help them to understand this asset class, what happened in the past, what happened with FTX, and where we're headed. It includes some investment tips and things they should look out for. So help them to not get wrecked, guys. And if you bought a copy already, please leave a rating and review. It will really help out my rankings. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.